as I firmly believe there is a need to develop a different animal, apologies to any crime scene investigators in the audience, for the future. One that is practically focused, yes, in being able to deal with the myriad of evidence types found at a scene, not just the physical types, recognising the increasing amount of digital evidence found at a scene, and I'll come back to that, but also a crime scene investigator that is scientifically literate and able, who understands crime types and crime practice, and who is able to contribute to other police priority areas and targets, such as public confidence. Forensic science demands are changing, and with it the roles and potential roles involved, and I'll come back to this. Currently, particularly in the context of universities, when we consider careers in forensic science, there tends to be focus on two main roles and two areas: crime scene investigators and forensic scientists, crime scene and laboratory, recognising that some of the laboratories may be in-house police laboratories as well as forensic science providers. But in training for a career in forensic science, there is, of course, a need to look much wider than this. We need to consider and identify those practitioners who specialise and who use forensic science and the products of forensic science, from police officers to SIOs and scientific support managers, and from crime scene investigators through to forensic scientists, identifying skills and knowledge requirements on entry and throughout the career, keeping them knowledgeable as well as competent in recognising what forensic science can and also what it can't do. Forensic science is part of the investigative process. It's not a substitute for it, and sometimes that point it's important to make. And in doing so and looking at knowledge and skills, it's important to recognise what we might consider forensic science to encompass, because forensic science is changing, not least through advances in science and technology, and Angela Gallup's provided us with some examples this morning, which require different skill set in using and also in directing its use, but also through the introduction of the Forensic Science Regulator and regulation, which requires, amongst other things, us to look at and to consider other well-established and emerging areas to be included in our thinking, such as digital forensics, such as collision investigation. And it's interesting that these areas are not currently included as part of the MPIA's Forensic Centre's portfolio, though of course there are programmes that run elsewhere. But perhaps more significantly, when looking at training in forensic science, there is a need to examine the future role of forensic science in policing and the wider criminal justice system, and the potential for it to impact in terms of the science itself, as well as the knowledge and the resource that it provides. This will and should influence our thinking in relation to the roles needed and the knowledge and competency required to undertake them. We need to establish what forensic science can and it should do before specifying who, what and how to train. So to ensure we provide adequate training for a career in forensic science, we need to look beyond practitioners to identify how forensic science can and should be used to best effect, by whom and how. And this may involve us harnessing the expertise of other discipline areas, perhaps such as crime science or criminology.